Sounds good.
All right, yep. We're gonna go ahead and get into it, you guys. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of the Game Drain. But we are fairly short on people today. Um, Mike is a little under the weather, and Tuan is doing some sort of, I don't know,
It's a Canadian
Canadian
holiday, says
holiday. So I mean, he's
whatever
probably
that
lying. They don't
means.
celebrate anything over there.
They don't have a
Let's be
holiday.
real. They're not.
That's
They
a
don't
lie.
have holidays, man. They don't.
Pretty sure it's
Anyways,
illegal.
but yeah, it's just me and Matt likes games here today with you to talk about a lot of the stuff that we usually talk about, but also to just kind of bullshit and chill as well, since it's just the two of us here. So let me go on ahead and get it kicked off. Matt, please let everybody know what you've been up to, what you've been playing. I haven't even really been talking to you that much because I've been busy as hell, dude.
Yeah. I mean, well, I beat Watch Dogs. I beat Watch Dogs, the original Watch Dogs, and I started Watch Dogs 2, and there's a big difference between them two games. There's a huge difference. Watch Dogs 2 feels like they just wanted to make Fortnite, but it's Watch Dogs. And I'm sure Watch Dogs Legion is probably even more the same. But I'm gonna try to see it through. I really enjoyed Watch Dogs 1. Thought it was amazing. Other than that, I mean, what have I really been playing? I mean, Destiny. I mean, I play Destiny quite a bit, but really that's about it. I've really been in on Watch Dogs. And oh, Metal Gear Solid 5. I started that recently. But that's what I've been playing.
All right. My camera's gonna drive me fucking nuts because it's been flickering all fucking day.
Oh, I do
Just
see that now.
yeah, it's already driving me nuts, but fuck it. I'm just gonna roll with it today. I still need to unpack a ton of shit. If you guys could see, I have my Dreamcast right here, Sega Saturn right here, 32X with the CD and Genesis hookup right here. I'm gonna have my retro set up like right here. It's gonna be pretty dope, and because I'll be able to live stream the game and then also kind of have my whole setup there. Whatever, but I'm pretty excited for it. The other side of the room is like where I keep uh all the good all the more expensive stuff like the Series X and PS5 and TV and everything like that.
I was gonna say
Ah,
the quality, but
oh yeah, the PS5, right? That's
yeah,
what I'm
but then you
talking.
said PS5, and I was like, can't do that.
Oh my god. Oh my god, you're tripping. PS5 is top notch, especially when
It's
it comes
top
to selling.
something. I
Speaking
mean,
of the
it's
PS,
higher than Series X. It's taller.
all right, but let's go on ahead and or actually, let me talk about what I've been playing. I've been playing this little fucking game called Moving, and it sucks. It's not as good as the game
uh,
Unpacking. Unpacking is fun because all you have to do is hit a button to
it's relaxing.
move. Yeah, it's very relaxing. But the real version of Unpacking is not relaxing. It's not fun.
Sucks.
It fucking
Sucks a lot.
sucks. but I have got a few nights to play some games. Been still playing as Dust Falls. I beat it with Too Big. Fantastic game. We're on our second run. I don't know. I think maybe he went on ahead and played it without me. He doesn't want to say nothing because he ain't said shit since the last time we got done playing. Where you at, bro?
Damn.
Where you at, bro? I'm calling you out. I'm calling out Too Big right now. I hope you hear it,
To the
sucker.
bottom of
I
this.
hope you hear it. Let's get to the bottom of this, sucker. But
Mhm.
but anyways, I played that. I beat Ghost of Tsushima finally. That was a really good sad ending. Um
Yeah.
for
Yeah, it
me
was.
personally it was.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I made that extra choice where it was like enough is enough. So
Yeah.
so I did that. Um man, there was another game I beat. Oh yeah, no, I didn't beat it. I platinumed Spider-Man Miles Morales last night. That
Oh,
was
I
pretty
saw that.
cool. Yeah, man, I got like 10 achievements, and it's a pretty easy game to get your achievements. It's a big open world, and there's only so many things you need to do. It it it's
I might go for it.
it was really nice. It was a comfortable platinum. It didn't feel like they were. Or let me go ahead and just say, it respected my time.
Right.
Does
Yes,
that make sense? It
that's
respected my
really good.
time. I Because you can 100% the game, but then you have to but then you can get all the achievements, and then when you look at the achievements, it's like, oh, that's not that bad. So then the game gets addictive all over again. It's already
Hmm.
addicting, so it was really
Yeah,
fun.
it is.
But I
That's
think
good.
that's it for like games that I've beat for like the week. I don't know. But yeah, I'm still looking to do some more runs on As Dusk Falls, especially while this kind of drought in games kind of seem to be in
Yeah,
and out right now.
yeah.
But anyways, Matt,
Mhm.
you're gonna be the one that's gonna take the forefront on this next one. We got, as you guys can see below
Yeah.
us, playing right now is Hades. I didn't really have
Yes.
much time to play this game, but I have played it before. It's pretty fun. It's pretty wild how
Mhm.
the map switches each time, like you die and have to restart. Like things are a little different, but like the boss eventually is like in the same amount, and like in like the same distance. Essentially,
Yes.
it's just like every small level in between the boss changes.
Yes.
You take a you get weapons and power ups and health and stuff based on like the area that you just took out and whatnot,
Mhm.
and directions that you decide you to go. So going ahead, Matt, and let them know what you thought of this game. It's in Game Pass right now. It's on a good, it's always on sale. You can definitely pick it up.
It is. And
It
here's I might be buying it because I enjoyed it that much while I was capturing the gameplay.
Okay.
I
Go on
might
ahead
buy
and
that.
speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it.
Also, like what you just said is a good thing to bring up because that's something that happens in this clip. I mean, I don't know if we'll play the full 29 minutes of it, but it's like I fought the same boss twice because the first time she kicked my ass. She kicked my ass, and then I made my way back to her and beat her the second time, and that's where I end the video. But it's like that's that's a really cool thing that you brought up is how I was worried, "Oh, this boss killed me, I gotta restart." And, like, I knew there was gonna be some stuff that changed, but I didn't know it was gonna be that much. So I was like, "Oh, I gotta do all this again, whatever." And I went through it again, and I was like, "Oh, this is all different. All of it's different." Like, the enemies are different, the location's kinda the same because it's kind of like, the same room, but enemies are different, encounters are different. You can pick a different weapon if you want because you've got weapons when you first spawn in this room down the hallway. But it's a really fun game. I know Mr. Chivalry, this is probably like one of his favorite games of all time. Uh and I honestly, well, it's not my favorite game of all time by any measure, but a lot better than I thought it would be. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. And it runs great. I'm not sure if I can't say 100%, but I thought it was 120 FPS on Series X. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I gotta look that up. But it's an amazing game. I can say that. Very fun, highly addictive, and very easy to play. You can put a lot of time in that game before you realize how much time you put into that game.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I hear you. Hit that like button, you guys, if you can. It'd be
Mm.
really nice. Much appreciated. I appreciate everybody that's here so far in the chat. So far, we only
Yes,
got Stank Mountain Too Big that's hollered at us. But make sure y'all, if you do have that moment, go on ahead and hit that like button. That'd be dope. Get this
definitely.
shared out if you can. But yeah, man. Like I said, I played it before. I got through the first boss, got to the lava area and
Yeah, that's
whatnot.
where I'm at now.
I got to that boss there where there's like a bunch of like snakes and stuff like that, and I almost beat him and just bare no, I think. maybe I did. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and play it again, but that's the last I can really remember about that game is getting into the lava area and with the snakes and whatnot. Those big like there's like 5 or 6 of them and whatnot. Kind of gave me like Immortal Phoenix Rising feels. But it was a pretty dope game. Not really my kind of game to like really put a lot of time into. But I could see if that's somebody's style of game, why they would really love that because it is pretty addictive. Um, I,
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't play it all the way to that point because it sucked. I played it all the way up to that point because I was like, this is pretty dope. And then I had to restart again, and I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. So if you're into that kind of stuff and like Returnal's the same way, another
yeah,
big time dope game. Um, I'd say dive deep into it. If you're into Returnal, I'd definitely play something like Hades, 100%.
absolutely.
And these kind of games are getting pretty popular. Um,
Very
there's,
popular.
I mean, they've been around for a little while, but I think people are really liking that challenge of like this is my run. I gotta make it. I gotta get there. And you know, but the cool thing about the game is like you level up throughout it eventually, so your health bar gets
Yeah,
bigger and bigger and bigger and stuff like that. And you start to get used to knowing what will work against who and what won't. So that's also another pretty cool and challenging fact about it
yeah,
that kind of helps you out later on down the line. But moving on. Man, it's been kind of a wild week. Just like if you've been having your ear down to the ground on gaming, Matt, I
yes,
want you to go on
yes, it
ahead and
has.
throw out a couple things that are like that you've seen that's kind of interesting to you.
Well, since Mike's not here and it was gonna be his, how about KOTOR? How about KOTOR being delayed indefinitely, which is which is something I did not see coming. And also, it was delayed indefinitely because of internal discussions. People who like at the head of this thought that this would be a game that would come out this year. Come to find out that the developers who are actually working on it are saying this is probably not going to be ready till like 2025, 2026. So that's like a ridiculous like that's unprecedented miscommunication, honestly. But that sucks. That really sucks. And it's not I can't really sit here and lie and say I have a bunch of history with KOTOR because I really don't. But I was looking forward to the remake because I mean I can play KOTOR finally. A new version of it that is brand new, made in 20 I mean this decade. But it's like I don't I it kind of it raises a lot of questions like what first of all, what did Sony know this was ever an issue? Also, I'm not gonna get into all that, but it's like it's just a weird thing to have happen, honestly. And then also, I mean, I'm gonna add on to that real quick, because there was something I wanted to bring. Actually, that might be that's gonna be the take. That's gonna be the take for the week. But I think the biggest news this week is definitely KOTOR's indefinite delay.
Okay. Yeah, I
What
mean, it was interesting just seeing the reaction of more or less the people from it than it was
yeah,
like from anything that Sony said or anybody has said. Because I mean, I don't think I've heard Sony or anybody come out with anything and say anything big about it. But I mean, there's a lot of people that were really mad about Xbox not having that acquired and down pat because that's something that was exclusive for them in the past. So it was a really
sir.
big deal to a lot of people for that game to come out and be something dope. But it was also like for fanboys it was like a big L for Xbox
Yes, sir.
for not getting it. And then to hear that it's like it could possibly not even come out because it's pretty much suspended indefinitely. um
Yeah,
it's just really interesting to now see like people question and wonder what was really being worked on, and how far did they go, and what the hell did they show for it to get like told no like that, because people got fired over this game.
Yeah,
People got fired
yeah,
because they were like, yo, this isn't what we are looking for. And you know, the axe got, swiped a couple times.
a few
And
times.
so it's really interesting how bad they had this, because I remember the hype after, wasn't it shown at the Game Awards?
I don't think it was the game. Was it the Game Awards? It might have been.
I think
I
it
thought it was
was.
Sony's own thing, or it could have. Yeah, it was the Game Awards. It was the Game Awards. I remember this because there was a lot of hype around that. So
Yeah,
that
because
was the Game Awards.
I know it was the same one as Space Marine.
That is the Game Awards.
Okay, yeah.
That is
So
definitely the Game Awards.
so yeah, that is that's it's pretty jaw dropping, because that wasn't that long ago that it got
It
announced,
wasn't long ago at
and
all.
it was supposedly supposed to come out like at the end of this year, beginning of next year ish.
Yeah.
So to go from yo, we're coming out within the next 6 months, to yo, this is not coming,
Not
is
for a long time.
is a little bigger than people make it out to be. A lot of people are already kind of like, whatever, it's not coming. But like, it's like, bro, that's a lot of time to put into a game, and it
Yeah.
just be dropped. It is kind of like, I mean, people are dodging this a lot more and more as time goes on, but like, this is very scale boundish.
Oh, dude, it kind of is. Also, you brought up the whole thing because I want to touch on that real quick of people who when they first found this out, when they first showed it, they're like, "How does Microsoft not get that?" I always kind of thought because I mean, really, to be fair, I based it on really nothing other than my non-knowledge of the studio. I'd never heard of Aspire. I'm like, okay, Aspire Studios is working on one of the most acclaimed games of all time, one of the like Xbox's fan favorite games. They're remaking it, and I'm just like, that seems like a big ask for a studio. That I mean, granted, I don't know all the studios. I've just never heard of them. And then you look into them, they're like, oh, these guys are like really successful in ports of games. Like they're really good at porting games. So you're like, okay, they're good at that. What makes them think they would just nail a remake of one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time? And then I start to think that might be why Microsoft said, I mean, and that's assuming they ever went to Microsoft. Maybe they didn't go to Microsoft. Maybe they just said, screw it, we'll go to Sony, which is, very possible. But it's like, if they did go to Microsoft, I could see the reason why Microsoft might say, no, we're okay. We're okay. Just like I hope they nail it. I hope they prove it. I hope it's good because I would like to play a really good game. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, and then we're going to be waiting a while apparently. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine if Microsoft made this game exclusive and we got that.
That it would be all Microsoft's fault. It'd be Xbox's fault. Be L box Series L or whatever the hell people say online. Or whatever, I don't know.
It 100% would be, because like, people would say, "Oh, well, Microsoft hasn't changed at all."
Exactly.
If
And
if that had happened, because I mean, as I was saying just a moment ago, it was supposedly an L for Xbox to not get this.
yeah,
Whatchamacallit, K Mega, on his own podcast, came out and apologized about, being
yeah,
so angry
yeah.
about, because he was hot, remember, on his podcast. I think you were
Yes, he
on that
was.
podcast.
I was on there, yeah.
He is
He
very
was upset.
angry. He was
He
very
was
angry
upset.
about that, because we were comparing Spider-Man IP to KOTOR, and he's like, "Oh man, like, it's such a bad thing that Xbox didn't get that. That's their
Yeah.
that's their platinum hits kind of game. They gotta have that." So that was fun. That was fun.
Oh, it
As
was.
for as for other news that's like in gaming as of lately, I know that 1440p is in the works for PlayStation as of right now. And what do you think about that?
I I mean, I think it's good, obviously. I think it's weird that it wasn't there, but I mean, they're gonna fix it, put it there, so I mean, hopefully that makes because a lot of people play on 1440p monitors, so that's definitely a good thing to be supporting. Is it just in isn't it in beta or is it rolling out, like, officially?
As of right now, it's just in beta. There are only certain people that can use it as of right now, like the people that have signed up for that beta program. So,
Yeah,
so there's that.
okay, see, yeah. I mean, it's definitely nice to have. Uh, one of the thing I mean, it's one of those things that I probably won't really care for too much because, I have a 4K TV, but, like, if you're on a 1440p monitor, it's something that's pretty important, especially if I'm not mistaken, Sony's releasing, like, that line of monitors they're releasing, I'm pretty sure some of them are 1440p. Like, there's some that are 4K, 1080p, and then 1440p.
See, I thought it
So what
was
a
just, I thought it was just, I thought it was just 4K and 1080p were the two because I thought it was one was 1080p and it was and it had like all like the crazy higher maxed out things, for 1080p gaming.
okay, yeah.
Like all the higher frames and whatnot. Like I think it was like 100 like 144 or something like that hertz.
Yeah,
And then I thought the other one was 4K. Like I didn't see any mention of a 1440, but maybe it's just up to 4K. Because
maybe.
1440 is still between. I mean, it's not between. It's 1440p is just below. Is the next thing below 10K or 4K.
4K, yeah. Yeah,
So
and
maybe it's just
I could
up
be
to.
wrong on that. Yeah, I could be wrong on that also. I just swear I remember them mentioning. Okay, so an 899 4K monitor, 144 hertz, 1080p with 240. So there is not a 1440p monitor in there. Okay, so
And
my fault.
Stank Mom, I don't think I heard anything about themes being brought in. I just heard something about I know people
Which
are
is
saying to bring back themes.
they need to because PlayStation, like, that's one thing that they've done consistently better than Xbox ever since PS3 is themes. They have themes. I remember the dynamic theme for The Last of Us Part 2. That shit was amazing. I love that theme. And it's like it would add like dynamic music to just your home it's nice to have. And then all of a sudden they got rid of it on the new console. It's like, don't do that. That was like something people really enjoyed. And honestly, Xbox needs to hop on this too, especially if Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, but if Activision goes through, they're gonna have so much IP. It's dumb that they're not making themes for their consoles. Both of these companies. It's dumb.
Interesting. Interesting. So, other news that we've heard about is PlayStation, and I'm not going to get into all the fine detail of this because I don't know all of the specifics on this, but they're kind of taking a loss on physical and like digital media and stuff like that being sold. Like people aren't buying as many
Oh
first
yeah.
party games as
Hmm.
the fanboys like to clamor and claim.
Yes.
And
Uh,
I just want to simply say it like that because I want you to tell me why people aren't buying as many first party games. Because Colin Moriarty on his show and whatnot, he brought up that
to us.
like Last of Us 2
Hmm.
and how it
Yep.
only sold 10 million. I mean, I'm sure if you guys listen to these podcasts, you've heard all this stuff before, but just in case you haven't, yeah, he said that they only sold like 10 million and they have like 100+ million, you know, consoles out there.
Yes.
So So I want you, Matt, to tell me why people aren't buying as many games, in your opinion.
Well, realistically, I mean, just I mean, the easiest, most common sense answer would be the fact that you think of Last of Us 2, that came out as the pandemic hit. That came out like, if I'm not mistaken, as the pandemic hit. And it's it's like that's a game that I mean it sold 10 million copies. 10 million copies is that's good. That's like regardless of what anyone says, that's pretty good. Now, did it live up to Sony's standards for the game? I mean, 10 million copies probably not. But also, I mean, it's one of those things. There's a pandemic. Money's tight for people, obviously. So it's like, yeah, maybe you're not going to rush out and buy Last of Us Part 2, or maybe you're not going to rush out and buy Forbidden West, especially if you're on like, especially now, like $70 games is like a thing. It's definitely a thing for PlayStation, and a lot of people are trying, myself included, are trying to decide what they perceive to be worth the amount of money that they're being asked to spend. Like, you got me on Ratchet and Clank. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it started to drag a little bit. You got me on Forbidden West. You got me. So I'm like, now I'm watching what they do, where it's like, okay, maybe I'll skip that day one. I'll pick it up on sale. Like, I'll get Ragnarok for $70 day one because I can't wait to play it. But let's say they come out with like another Ratchet and Clank. The first Rift Apart was cool, but I'll wait for a sale. And I feel like that's a lot of the people's mentality. And not even just for PlayStation, probably for Xbox, probably for Nintendo, probably for everything at this point. Third party, Ubisoft, I mean Activision, which is technically still third party at this point. But stuff like that, it's like you're probably just gonna wait for a sale unless you know for a fact that you're gonna love it. But as far as Last of Us, that number did surprise me. I would have definitely thought that that sold, at least 15 million because he's right. Colin Moriarty, I'm talking about. He's right in the sense that you've got a install base of over like 120 million on the PS4, which is what The Last of Us is, the PS4 game, and you only sold 10 million. It's I, I don't know. Maybe also the controversy for The Last of Us surrounding that, specifically that game, maybe that also helped kind of uh shoot the sales numbers down. In that case, I'm not entirely sure. I just think really it's just ultimately, money's tight for people, so they're more picky on what they get and when they get it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what else I
So
think it is, though?
what's that?
Subscription services.
That's another valid point. That's another very valid point.
People
Especially
are
with
seeing the
yeah,
value in subscription services now, and whether you're, a fanboy or not, like a lot of people like pretend they don't want to take advantage of this stuff, and they do.
dude, a
They take
thousand
advantage
percent.
of it. They want it. I want it. Ain't nothing wrong
Yeah,
with it. I like to
yep,
be able to try games and see if it's something I want to keep forever, because
yeah,
these subscription services do what they're supposed to do. They put the stuff out there for you to check out for a while. If you don't check out, especially if it's not theirs, because
yeah,
eventually there's going to be more subscription services. People are thinking this is like PlayStation and Xbox. That's it.
no,
No, no,
yeah,
no. You already see like
bigger than that.
Ubisoft doing their own thing. They're getting their subscription services out there. Hell, video games alone have subscription services.
Yeah,
So people are going to start taking advantage of this stuff, and some of these games are getting deeper and deeper and deeper to the point where this is your game. This is all you're really playing that much. A lot of games are
yeah,
turning into a lot of games are turning into like what do you call uh the
service, live service.
live service, yes, but I'm thinking of a specific game, World of Warcraft.
Oh,
where
subscription based, like
yeah,
where you
yeah,
need to
to
pay
where
that
it
sub.
yeah, yeah, like you're on this every night, like Destiny
Yeah,
has people on there every day,
yeah,
getting those, things that you have to do to like daily challenges and stuff like that. These things are getting bigger and bigger, and especially with these games coming out free, like
mhm,
free games with the live, live service games.
yeah,
Skate's gonna be interesting to see because I'm really interested to see um, how a sport game does out there. And trust, EA is watching closely when they drop Skate out. They're
yeah.
watching to see, are we maybe, losing out on money by not having Madden be a subscription service game? Because to me, that's a subscription service game. If you ask
It
me,
should be.
I mean, let's be real. How many times do you get new players? Yes, you get. I mean, obviously, yeah, you get new players every year. I take that back.
Sure,
But
yeah,
how many returning players are coming back?
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
And
how
even
many
those
times
new
do they
players.
switch teams? Tom Brady, for instance, he was on the Patriots for how long?
I don't even
You know what I
forever.
mean?
He was on the
Uh,
Patriots forever.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's been out since. I mean, how many different games have you played with Tom Brady and he's great? Why do I need to buy
Dude.
that every single year? I know he's good. He's
Yeah,
going to be good in the next game. Cool.
exactly.
So, and,
And
and
y-
I want 2K to look at this too. This isn't just an EA thing. I want 2K to do the same damn thing. Because that would make me kind of be more interested in maybe putting some money into this. As of right now,
yeah.
for me, 2K, I know you like purchasing it, Matt, and Bill loves purchasing
Oh, I don't
that.
love
K
purchasing it,
Mega,
but I do.
K Mega purchased the $150 version because it came with League Pass. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah, you should consider that. If you, I know you like watching your calves, so you
Yeah,
should
but
really
I get
consider
him.
that.
I get him anyway. I get him anyway. Now, if I move, then that might be the move. That might be the move. If I move before the season, then that's going to be the move.
I see what you're saying. So yeah, yeah, you probably get that because of the local
Oh yeah.
services and whatnot.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah, if you moved that $150 for NBA 2K is looking mighty interesting, looking pretty
It is.
tasty, right? Because that
It
league
is,
pass is expensive.
dude. Yeah, it is.
It's not
Definitely is.
cheap. So a $70 game, because you already know it's $70, but you're getting all of the bells and whistles and NBA League Pass. Like that's pretty fire.
Yep.
That's a pretty fire deal.
It's a
Um,
good deal.
I want to see more games do something like that, like a Madden, and put like make the Madden like 150, $160 and slap on Sunday ticket. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
I'd be in for that.
Yeah.
I'd do it. Would any of you guys in the chat be down to get like a Sunday ticket, or to get like Madden if it came with Sunday ticket, or this 2K that comes with a League Pass? I mean, that's pretty interesting because that stuff is expensive. Now I know if you have a team and you live in the same city as your team, like Matt does, maybe that's not something that you're interested in. But for
Yeah.
me, I'm from Nebraska. I currently live in Iowa. We don't like if they had that college pass or something like that, I'd be hella interested in it. I tell you that much because I like watching my Nebraska team play, but also I like watching the NFL too. So if Madden came out with the Sunday ticket, I don't really like Madden that much, but you trying to give me
Yeah,
that
it's worth looking
free?
at.
Yeah, yeah. You trying to give me that? Or not free, but you trying to give me those games, every single game onto my
Yeah.
TV? Like hell yeah, let's do this. I
And
want some
and
Madden
on
then.
and what they could do, honestly, I think I think the base game for Madden for NBA, like you said, I buy NBA every year. And I always do every single year. What I do is I'm like, I'm not getting this one. I'll wait till it's on sale. And then the day before pre-order, like the day before the release date, I'm just like, fuck it. All right, here we go again. And then I spend the money And then I play it and I'm like, it's fun, but it's like there's another $70 and it's every year. But the base game should be free to play. You're gonna get more people playing it. You'll get the microtransactions, and then you should do a bundle like you're talking about. If you want like the game, which is free to play, plus a bunch of like in-game credits or whatever, like a starter pack for your character or whatever, you can buy that and bundle it with like League Pass, Sunday Ticket, whatever the case may be. And then you just charge, I don't know, whatever that would be. Let's say the price of the game, $70. So the game's free, you get all that extra stuff plus League Pass or Sunday Ticket for 70 bucks. I think that's like you're gonna sell like crazy for just that. And then you're gonna be selling microtransactions like crazy to all the new people who are coming in because the game is free to play. I think that's a win-win. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously you gotta make the deals, but at the end of the day, I feel like that would make them a lot of money, a ton of money. I don't know.
Blind said something interesting in the chat just a moment ago. He said Sunday Ticket is like $300 and
Whoa,
DirecTV
yeah,
contract with Sunday Ticket ends this season. So I'm
oh,
wondering,
okay,
I'm wondering if that's going to go to somebody else. If somebody else, I mean, because everybody wants the NFL on their network.
definitely,
They want them on their servers. You know, I mean, I would
definitely,
if that the NFL as a company is making crazy money every single year. I mean, they're starting to have games international now, like
I,
regularly, which is
yeah,
crazy. Like you'll see your favorite team come to some random place in like England, or I think they're going to be doing one. How I don't know, but somewhere in Asia or something like that in the near future or something. I could be wrong. But it's just interesting to see, and I'd like to see DirecTV get somebody to take away that from DirecTV because I don't really care about DirecTV at all.
yeah.
I
I don't.
mean,
I'm not a fan of them.
they
Not a
they,
fan.
there's I don't know, they've been around ever since I was a little kid, and I've never been a big fan of them other than like what they provide for the NFL, and it's only because they have the contract.
Exactly.
They are the EA of TV.
They kind of are. They kind of are. Give it to someone else. Let them do something with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, do you have any other kind of news that you wanted to bring up at all?
I think I'm gonna save my stuff for take of the week because I got one for take of the week,
Well, let's
which
just
is
let's just go on ahead and put them together because it's just us two.
okay. Okay, so well, a good take is Doctor Disrespect saying that if he were to take a screenshot, and this is an old take, a month old about, he said if I were to take a screenshot of my game, like an in-game screenshot of my game right now, it will look better than what you just saw. This is in regards to that Modern Warfare 2 trailer that we live reacted to, and we all were like, this looks incredible. And he said, if I took a screenshot from my game, it would look so much better than that game, what we just saw from that game. And then we saw what his game looks like, and it looks like a mobile game. It looks like a really pretty mobile game. Granted, the whole thing going around is like it's an alpha, which is fine. You're an alpha. Your game's not going to look as good as you probably want it to look. And there are people saying that it looks impressive for being an alpha, but the fact is, he said that his game right now looks better than anything that can be done in Call of Duty's engine, which is just a lie. Which is a lie. That's not true at all. That's not even remotely true.
That's
But I
fun.
mean, yeah,
That's
it's
fun to
definitely
think
fun. It
of.
it fits his persona. It fits his persona. He's got
It
a he's
does.
got a he got a cool persona, I guess, and he says things off the wall, and that is definitely one of them. I thought that was hilarious because
Oh
dude, that
man,
that gameplay clip, it was not. And then also, it's an NFT shooter. Like, what the hell is that even? What does that even mean? What are you doing?
that means he's getting money.
He's definitely getting money. God bless him.
That
Good
means
for
he's
him.
getting money. for having that shit
They
in his game. So congratulations, Dr. Disrespect.
right?
He is literally living up to his name.
Dude, oh, it's fantastic. That's a genius name. I love it.
Absolutely. I wanted to also bring up Mr. Peter Moore spitting his
Oh.
bars off, right?
Oh, about the console wars?
Oh, about the console wars
Mhm.
and how healthy and necessary they are
That's
to
insane.
I mean, he put his neck out there and
He sure did.
he was mostly referring to his time at
Yep,
Xbox and how important they were to them at
yeah,
that time. Not so much all
no,
this toxic stuff that you're seeing and doxing and stuff like that that we're dealing with now. He
yep,
currently, though, believes that it is still important to have, but a healthy dose. So more or less like for fun, not for like frustration, anger to bring like harm upon somebody. Which I
yeah,
kind of see what he's saying because it's just like sports. Like we just got done talking about Madden and all that stuff. Like, um, but but as for like like if you're uh if you're a Pittsburgh fan, a Steelers fan, you're always gonna give the Ravens that smoke, right?
yeah.
If you're a Giants fan, you're always gonna give them whack ass Eagles, them lame ass fucking Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh
Yeah,
god,
yeah, taking them down. We're always gonna give them whack ass Eagles the smoke. That's what it is. So if you're ever anticipating PCMR or Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation fans to not want to give that smoke the other direction, then you just not thinking right because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen for until the end of time. It's gonna happen.
definitely, dude,
It
definitely.
is what it is. It is what it is, though, and I think it's kind of fun to do if you do it just jokingly and know at the end of the day you should have everything.
Yeah,
If you can
sure,
if you
definitely.
can't if you can't have everything, you do deserve to be a little bit more passionate if you want to. I feel like that's okay because I remember when I was a
Yeah.
little kid, I was a little bit more passionate back in the day.
Oh yeah, I was.
Because I didn't have the ability to just hop up and grab me a PlayStation 3 or something like
Yes.
that. Like last PlayStation I had until I got the PlayStation 5 was the PlayStation 2. I didn't have that kind of
Mhm.
money to have every single console then.
Yeah, I feel that because
So 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 yeah, I was
that
telling
was
everybody get on my console. I was telling everybody get on my
exactly,
shit. Like like
exactly.
like this is the place to have it. The OG Xbox in my opinion was and it still is to this day better than the PS2. But I know that makes a lot
Yeah,
of people angry when you say that. That makes Xbox fans angry when you say that. If I said that to a few different Xbox fans, they're like, "Nah, man, the PlayStation 2 it just had a lot more." And it's true, it did have a lot more.
it did, but not for me.
Yeah, but yeah,
Not for me.
exactly, but not for
Not for
me.
me. It didn't. Had a lot more for people who weren't like me, but
Yeah.
hey,
Yep, and that is what it is. I mean, there's always going to be a side of us as natural as people to be proud, maybe even a little too proud of what you chose, what you like, what you
yeah,
appreciate seeing. I don't think
yeah,
there's anything wrong with that as long as you can keep it in that same vein and not veer off into
definitely.
personal attacks, doxing people, trying to like, you know, literally physically attack people because I mean that's a
Yeah,
thing.
that's insane. That's
That's
insane.
even a thing. So
Yeah, that's
I thought it was
something.
really, really, you know, dare I say, strong or for Peter Moore to come out and say something like this during this climate. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
see, that's the only problem I have with it. Because what he's talking about is just the stuff that like me and you joke about, where we're just joking about, oh, Xbox is better than PlayStation, or PlayStation is better than Xbox. We're just joking around. But like, and that's what he's talking about. But now you've got people on Twitter just like verbally abusing each other because they like one console over the other. It's like you're getting a little weird. And then people who do that are going to see that comment and be like, that's exactly what Xbox wants. And it's like, no, no, it's not, dude. It's not. They want like just have fun. Just have fun and enjoy the gaming. That's it. It's a little bit of competition. It's nothing that should ever be personal, ever in any way, shape, or form. And I was the same way. I was the same way as you. And I even had a PS3 eventually. I mean, I got one pretty late, but eventually I got one. And it's like I was an Xbox fanboy all the way up until probably 2015. 2015 when I got a PS4, and then I played Uncharted 4, and then I played Last of Us, and then I started playing all these games, and then games started coming out after that, and I was like, this is really awesome. Like this is genuinely awesome. So I mean, yeah, if you can have all the systems, have all the systems, enjoy them all. Like if that's something that's available to you. But like Ham said, if you can only get one or the other, like yeah, I get you're passionate, but just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick online to people. That's not cool. Let's calm down.
Yeah, yeah. I'm totally cool. I love arguing with people about games. I actually thoroughly enjoy it. I just
Yeah.
want it to stay in the realm of gaming and not go outside of
Yes.
that. Let's stick to the subject. And in all actuality, it's really just basic debate. It's a basic debate about product versus product, and it can be an endless debate
Mhm.
if you wish to make it that way, especially if you put the debate on a Twitter or something like that. Then it truly is an endless debate, and no matter how many facts you have, it doesn't matter.
No,
Um,
it doesn't.
it really doesn't. But yeah, it's just wild. It's an interesting topic, and I just thought I'd bring up because Peter Moore brought that up during kind of I don't know if you could call it a sensitive time. But speaking of sensitive, I want to
What
go on ahead and bring up
you think about it?
GTA.
Oh, okay, okay. All
What
right.
do you think about GTA?
I hey, dude, I think that is like people are freaking out for two reasons. Uh, people are freaking out that they're adding a woman as a playable character, but they're also freaking out really specifically over the fact that GTA they're toning down um well I don't even know the exact term they use, but cultural stereotypes. They're getting rid of stuff like that. They're getting rid of anything that could or a lot of stuff that could be, deemed offensive to certain groups of people, which at like on one hand I get it, but at the same time, GTA is supposed to be like for me it's supposed to be a mirror of America, and there's quite a lot of that in America. So it's like GTA is supposed to be the fun thing that makes fun of it, makes everyone laugh while doing it and have a blast, get immersed in a story at the same time. And it's kind of weird to think that GTA 6 might not be doing that. They might be going, I mean, who knows how, woke, whatever you want to call it, how far they go with it, but it's just weird to think about. I hope it's good. That's all I want. I just want GTA to be good, and I know I'm gonna get it day one. As much as I'm gonna shit talk it and say I probably won't, but I will. 1,000% will. Um, I just want it to be good, man. And it does worry me a little bit that they're just like I get they want to overhaul their culture at the studio, and that's really commendable. It's something they should be doing. But I don't think it needs to bleed into your game when your game is specifically about satiring very sensitive topics and issues. I but that's just me. Uh, but a lot of people seem to agree with that. And then also a lot of people seem to not agree with that. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's hard to say.
I think putting like something like people mad, woman in game, satire bad. I feel like that is like I feel like you're almost using females as a reason to nerf something when I don't
Yeah.
think that has to do with the nerfing thing because we're talking about because we're talking about like I mean as you said it's like a satire game, it's like a thrive off of doing fucked up shit kind of game.
Yes.
It always has been. That's always been the allure of it, and it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if I really like that they're like it's the women thing that's kind of making it kind of go this way, and we got to be careful. And I grew up with many women that played this game. They didn't care. They were in the same realm of thinking it was funny, having a good time. I mean, my little cousin Ashley, she played the hell out of San Andreas in Vice City. Was it inappropriate for her age? Absolutely. That ain't my child. That's my cousin. But like, what I'm saying is, she didn't feel offended. She she graduated from a university. She ain't extra like crazy or stupid out of this. She made a hell of a run for her life as of right now. And you gotta think these GTA games have been out for like
Done.
20 years now.
Pretty much
Like
all of
like
my lifetime. So
well, there's always been like GTA, like London and GTA 2, and the bird's eye view ones that were
yeah.
really old. But like
Hmm.
since like GTA 3, I remember everybody remembers that guy in the black leather jacket, man. Everybody remembers
Yeah.
him with the green jeans on, and the game starts out with you and a woman running away. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody remembers that game, especially if you had trouble accessing a memory card or something like that. You had to restart that shit over and over.
Definitely.
But like everybody remembers that type of shit, and like that satire and stuff like that was the reason that they played it, because it was so like outside of its element. It was like close to real, but fucked up enough for you to know it ain't.
Exactly. And that's
So
that's what's great about it.
so what are you trying to do? Are you trying to make this into more of a like a real game? Because I mean, let's be honest, real life is kind of boring. We don't want
It is.
more realistic than it already is. I mean, it's fine the way it is. But they're already making these changes, which a lot of people look right past. A lot of people looked right past that. They've already taken out certain languages in some of like the newer GTA drops that they've had with
Hmm.
updates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They've taken out like, you know, I mean, obviously like music because of like licensing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people don't even realize that this is happening, and they're
Yep.
using this, oh, you got a woman protagonist, look at this, there's a woman protagonist, while we switch up these things that you actually do care about. Because
Yeah.
nobody cares. Let's be real. No one cares that there's a woman protagonist in the game. I've played very many games with women protagonists. A lot of people I've known plenty of games with women protagonists. That's never been the issue. The woman protagonist
Yeah.
has nothing to do with that. I mean, I've played some women protagonists in some wild games, right?
Definitely.
So I don't see I don't really see the need, and that's why I say it's kind of messed up that they're using woman as a reason to kind of say, "Hey, we're making changes to the game." And it's like, yeah, that's an excuse. You're throwing out an excuse
Yeah.
to kind of be the blinds of what's really going on behind the scenes, and really you're just kind of taking a different approach without really telling anybody that you're taking a different approach.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's
Sneaky.
like the thing that people really like. I mean, I can't speak for everyone. The thing I like about GTA is the fact that, like you just said, I mean, I remember I wanted Vice City. I didn't get three because my parents wouldn't let me, but I wanted Vice City, and I told my dad, "Can I get Vice GTA Vice City?" And he said, "You." It's like, "You want that?" I was like, "Yeah." He watched me play it. He got it for me. He watched me play it. He's like, and I, and I looked at him like, "Is this cool for me to play?" And he's like, As long as you know that's a game, that's not actual life, then you can play that to your heart's content." And that's what I did, and that's the fun part about that. You know that that's not real life. I mean, unless you've got already present mental issues, you know that's not real life. You know that what is happening in that game isn't okay. So it's like it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy. You've had a hard day. You can come home and just get lost in that fantasy. And that's what's great about it. And like I said, I get they want to make they want to tone down certain things. They don't want to offend people, which is kind of like the whole culture right now. You don't ever want to really offend people. I get that, and I think some of that is really good, but to like this is one of those things where it's an escape from that. Where it's like I can do whatever I want. I can laugh at whatever I want in this game. I can be whatever I want in this game. And to just be like, okay, we're changing that now because at the same time we're making our studio culture better. You don't have to change the game to make your studio culture better. You don't have to do that.
Facts. I don't
You
see
don't have
where that goes hand in hand.
exactly. And like you said, the whole topic of bringing a girl in, it's like women in games are like there's a lot of women in games that are fucking awesome. And not just games, but Rockstar games. Sadie Adler from Red Dead 2. I mean, you had Bonnie McFarlane from Red Dead 1. You got women in Rockstar games that are just fucking amazing. And it's like, I just hope they're doing something more like that and a woman character as opposed to just here's a woman character, the game's really toned down, now I'll have fun. That's because that's not what I want. Don't put a woman character in there for the sake of putting a woman character in there. Although I will say the one thing that has me sold is, or at least kind of sold, is the fact that they're going for a Bonnie and Clyde type thing. I think that can be really awesome if it is done properly. That has me intrigued, but we'll see. I mean, that's who knows.
You know what would be like a cool but okay kind of difference? Like if they're looking for more appropriateness, then I think that starts off with like the type of tone that you set at the very beginning of the game. Like, where is my character from? What are they doing? What's the reason behind what they're doing? Like a fun one that I kind of thought could work is like if you ever seen the movie with Jim Carrey where he got indicted. I forgot what movie that was that was called, but but they end up like having to like hold up stores and stuff like that just to pay the rent and whatnot. But like to do something fun like that where it's like Bonnie and Clyde, but like you were like the head of the household that lost everything and something like that, that would be pretty dope.
Yeah,
But it'd kind of give you a serious kick to it because like you were like a suit and tie kind of guy from the get go, and like the lady was
yeah,
a housewife and now she's a shooter. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like
That could be awesome.
that would be pretty dope. And then you could come at it more in a wholesome way because they were regular people before, but now they're like outside their element, wild and uncomfortable, and they're scared. They don't know what they're doing, but they're just trying to make shit happen. That would be like
Yes,
the most wholesome way to come at it. And then have like a kind of crazy world behind it.
that's a phenomenal point, honestly. And it's, I mean, I know they're different games, but you think of what they're doing with Saints Row. Now, Saints Row, the new one, isn't my thing. It doesn't seem like, but they have a reason. They technically have a reason for the people doing what they're doing. They're college students and they want to pay off their college debt. That's the reason. Now, it's not my kind of thing, but they've got a reason and they can make it as good as they can possibly make it around that reason, around that story and premise. Which if that's what GTA does for this Bonnie and Clyde thing, like you just said, I did that would be that would give them a reason to do it the way they want to do it, and it would also make for probably a pretty damn good story.
Right. Right.
So
So
I'm
I
excited.
don't know. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. But do you have any more other takes of the week?
I mean, there's always something on Twitter, but I mean, honestly, I thought the biggest one was definitely Doc. Good old Doctor Disrespect.
Okay. Um. Yeah. I don't really want to go around and try to like kick a dead horse right now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, like there just hasn't been too much other than like the cancellation or not cancellation, but the indefinite suspension that is KOTOR
yeah.
um going, and how Xbox kind of dodged a bullet on that one, and oh yeah, there is a delay with
Mhm.
Warhammer.
Warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
You know
And
what? Let me.
that's
I can add to the
supposedly
take.
another L.
Yeah, yeah. You. I was just about to say how people are talking about how like this is somehow Xbox's fault. It's like if you want to blame anything on Xbox this year, blame Starfield and blame Redfall. But as far as like Warhammer, that's not Xbox's fault. They just weren't ready to ship the game for their console. That's all it is. But people are like, all of a sudden, people are like, "Wow, Xbox is having a really bad year." It's like, well, we already knew that. We knew this since I don't know late May, whenever they delayed Starfield and Redfall. It's not all of a sudden, and it's not definitely not because of Warhammer. It's it is what it is. The game got delayed. I just don't like how it's all doom and gloom for Xbox when factually right now they are selling more consoles than they've sold in well over a decade. It's like they're doing that. Yeah, you can say the first party sucks this year because it does. It doesn't suck. It's just non-existent. It doesn't exist this year. But they are they are figurative, literally and figuratively crushing it. They are like dominating compared to what they have done this past decade. So I don't know.
And
People are
they're
weird.
doing that without any first party games, which is outrageous.
It's insane.
And
That's
and and to me, this is like I hate to come back to this again, but this is what subscription services are all about. You know what
yep.
I'm saying? They're not just giving you a console; they're giving you something to play with that console immediately, depending on
Yes.
your internet speed. But yeah, I mean, they're hooking you up with a bunch of stuff to download natively to your console. and play it like you
Yes.
want to. And then if you don't want to play it natively, you can play a lot of that stuff in Game Pass, and you can still buy games there fairly quickly and easy. And you have all this other weird stuff that you can do with it. Xbox is just, they're just hitting things from, several different levels, and I attribute a lot of that to Game Pass. I remember last week it was K Mega asked me if Master Chief was still the face of Xbox, and I said no. Game Pass is the face of Xbox now. They are
Yeah.
exactly what a platform would want. They bring people together in all different ways through that one facet, and they can connect everything back to that if they want to. Now, you buying games with Xbox now at this point is a plus, but
Yeah.
it's not the thing running the platform right now. I think Game Pass is that thing because that's why they're putting all the first party and stuff there. Sony says they don't really want to do that because it hurts, but now they're complaining about people buying games. So what are
Yeah.
you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You got to do something. You like it's just the engagement helps. That's all I'll say. Like Xbox gets engagement. Like they get engagement off of their subscription service whether they have a first party game out or not. And it's going to be the same way once PS Plus catches hits its stride with like this premium, this extra and all that stuff. They're going to be making money regardless of their first party output. It does not matter. That's the the first party output is just like it's and the selling of games is like the cherry on top. But like you're making so much money, both of these companies, Xbox right now and PlayStation eventually, are making so much money off of these services that it's like Xbox can have the best the best year they've had in like 12 years just off of that while not putting out anything. So, I don't know. I don't think it's very doom and gloom at all for Xbox. I think this year is a down year, and then I think 2023, and it starts with Starfield or Redfall, whichever one comes first, but 2023 is where, like, you start to see the wave of just a ton of content, especially if we can get this deal with Activision through before the end of the year, but we'll see on that.
Well, to me, it's just like when it comes to this like whole thing about games aren't of quality if they're on a subscription service.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that to me is like as fanboy as I mean, like people have said, Phil Spencer with his tweet this week that we didn't even talk about yet at all. With his tweet this
Yeah.
or about being really ready to play God of War. Well, you had Sony say something opposing of subscription services. The opposite. He said something negative. PlayStation said something negative. Jim Ryan actually said something negative, saying subscription services would bring down the quality of our games. Man, if you don't get the hell up out of here with that garbage, man, like people thought the same thing about DVDs and oh man, like there's no way there's gonna be any good movies to come out or oh there's gonna be no way of getting these good TV shows to come out from having a subscription service. Look at I mean Stranger Things. Look at
Yeah.
that. Stranger Things
It's huge.
is huge. Let's look at The Mandalorian.
Yep.
You can tell me that's a small budget?
Yeah. Apparently, according to Jim Ryan,
The Boys, Amazon, a
yeah,
small budget? That's in a
yeah,
subscription service. You can buy the seasons if you want to.
sure.
If you want to have always access to it. You can buy it and then do whatever you please to it, right? But it's in a subscription service, and guess how everyone's watching it? Through a subscription service.
Exactly. It's
Stray.
such a
Stray would not have this publicity if it wasn't in a subscription service.
not at all. Not a, and that's a really good point. Stray is a perfect example of a game that I enjoyed what I played of it. I need to play more of it, but I wouldn't buy that if that wasn't in PlayStation Plus. And there's a lot of games like that in Game Pass. I wouldn't buy a lot of games in Game Pass if I couldn't just play them in there. So
This
it's
game
like,
right here playing Peppa Pig. I wouldn't have bought that.
yeah,
But my daughter
and
likes it, and I don't want to have to keep paying for games for my daughter to play, not knowing if she's ever going to pick it up after I've bought several games for my like Sega and Nintendo and whatnot that she's picked up and played maybe less than 5 times. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Game Pass, I just pay for that once a month, and she has a list of things. She downloaded Minecraft the other day. I didn't even know it, bro. I didn't even know it. She just turned on the game and was asking me questions. And I was like, wait a second, this is on my hard drive? I was like, wait a
yeah,
second, what's going on here? But she is playing Minecraft and whatnot. And I'm just
yep,
like, bro, like how many more games are gonna be like that she just, she goes into the library herself and finds it and says, yo, I'm gonna play
exactly.
this one. I have 3 Xboxes. I have the VCR, I got the One X, and I got the Series X. And I'm probably going to get the Series S as well for my front room. So I'm going to
Yes,
probably
do
have
it.
4 of them. But as of right now I have 3. One of the VCR one I'm putting in my daughter's room for her to play. The One X I'm putting in the bedroom, and I already got the Series X up in here in this game room. And I'd like to get that Series S for the front room. Just cuz I
Yeah.
cuz my wife, she gave me kind of a sideways look that she had to leave the room because I had to do this podcast because she was in the middle of playing Halo. And I know,
Okay.
every time she goes to play Halo on the One X, she's just like, man, this is slow. This is sluggish. Like she already, is adapted to
Yeah.
the good life that is series
Yep.
consoles. So I want to go on ahead and do that. I think I might either do that for Christmas or for her birthday. Is going ahead and get her own console, and it'll be in the front room. But it ain't no thing for her to tell me to leave the front room and come
Yeah.
into here. I can come into here all
Yeah.
goddamn day. That ain't no thing. So
Definitely.
yeah, so while we're on the subject, before we go on ahead and get out of here, because we're already hitting damn near close to the mark that we hit when we're with 4 damn people. But let's go on ahead and talk about that Phil Spencer tweet real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go and talk
Do
about
it.
that goddamn thing, man. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So what did you think when you initially see it? I mean, I know what you thought about it, but why don't you go ahead and let everybody else know what you thought when you initially seen it, and then tell me what you thought of it after maybe you've thought about it from a little bit from other people, like take a journey in somebody else's shoe.
When initially saw it, I thought that's awesome. I thought that's amazing. First of all, because well, okay, just initially, I thought that's amazing, and then when I thought about it, I thought that is still amazing. That's still amazing. Like I can see I can see how someone might be like, if you're a fanboy and you're like a hardcore Xbox fanboy and you see that, I can see how that might upset you. I can definitely see that. But at the same time, d- uh, don't be a hardcore fanboy of anything. Don't. Um, and then also, it's just like he enjoys games. And Shuhei Yoshida, I'm pretty sure it was Yoshida, did the same thing with Horizon 5 last year. It's like all these people play the other games on the other system. They all do it because, and I'm pretty sure Neil Druckmann. I mean, I know Neil Druckmann's not the head of of Xbox or PlayStation, but Neil Druckmann back when Gears 5 released, he was like, I can't wait for Gears 5. and he would post clips. He would post gameplay clips of Gears 5. He would post like screenshots. It's like they all just enjoy games. Let them enjoy the game. I get it. It's a bit different. Phil Spencer's the head of Xbox, but it's like he's excited for the game. That's all he's saying. And a lot of people are. That's just the fact.
You
That's
know what
how it
else
is.
he's saying? You know what else he's
What's that?
saying? Eat a fucking dick.
Exactly.
He's telling
It's
you to
just
eat a fucking dick. That's exactly what he's
yeah,
saying. He's
yeah.
like, oh, you don't like that? Oh, you don't
Get
like
over it.
it.
Get over
Oh,
it.
suck my dick.
Oh
That's what
god.
he said.
Good.
Flat
Honestly,
out. Like,
good.
that's exactly what I mean. Sometimes that's what needs to be said, you know? Like, people forget
Yes.
that, like, like we talked about it recently about a gentleman that's in the community that said, I would never touch a PlayStation
Yeah.
and whatnot. So there are
Yeah.
people like that out there that really think that like you have to be brand loyal.
Not at all.
Paris
Never.
is a pretty cool person. He doesn't always say my favorite stuff, you
Sure,
know,
yeah.
but I respect what he is at the end of the day because he's just an all-around gamer, and as much smoke as people try to give him for that, he just stands strong on it. And
Yeah.
I gotta respect that. Like somebody that's willing to do like an Xbox conference kind of thing, and then turn around and be like, "Yo, man, this next game on PlayStation looks hot," and
Yeah.
he weathers the storm very nicely. I respect him for that kind of stuff because it's just like, man, more people need to be like that. Just be
Yes.
objective. Just be
More people need
objective.
to be like that. Definitely.
It
We need a lot more of that in the community. A lot more of it.
because to me, I mean, I kind of get it back in like the Sega times and whatnot when there was such a limit on things to play and a lot of it was coming on both consoles because a lot of them were let me take that back. There was still a lot of exclusives out there. There was just a lot less places to get that same experience somewhere else. Right? So
Mhm.
like you didn't have like you had some PC gaming, right? But anybody would tell you, you know, like Mario is better than most
Oh yeah.
PC games back then.
Yeah.
And you could
Definitely.
say the same with like Sonic and stuff like that. Like that was better than a lot of your PC games and stuff like that. But now you have the ability to play Xbox games on your PC. You can play PlayStation games on your PC, and some of these games that are exclusive are on the PC as well. So is it really that exclusive?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like there's so much diluted areas in gaming. There's a first party Sony game on Game Pass and two games from Xbox first party that, you know, was their own thing just a couple of years ago. That's on PlayStation, and who knows when Xbox is going to get their own game. And you know,
Yeah.
I mean, like
Yeah.
like at this point, it's like, man, if you're not at least objective enough to know that, hey, there are great experiences somewhere else, then you should look at yourself as the problem more than everybody else because it's like, man, like, yo, Bungie used to work for
Yeah.
Xbox. Now
Yeah.
they're on PlayStation. Why would you want to miss out on a great experience if you loved Bungie?
Definitely.
You know
Thousand
what I'm
percent.
saying? So like 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 gaming is more of an open book than it's ever been before. We see what people are really up to, where they have worked previously, stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Like we know that there were PlayStation dudes on Xbox beforehand and the other way around. The kind of
Yeah,
stuff
for
we didn't
sure.
think about back in the day when console warring was, you know, at its peak with like even the early days of Microsoft and Sony or or Sega and Nintendo. You know, a lot of people would say that was the peak time of console wars and stuff like that. So I don't know. Now you're starting to see through it more or less like a X-ray vision, and you're starting to be like, "Whoa, a lot of this stuff looks similar." So why wouldn't you
Hmm.
want to? Why wouldn't you want to take advantage of both and just have your preference and just leave it at that? You got your preference, cool. That's where you
Yeah,
live.
sure,
But
yes.
nobody said it wasn't great to live over there too. And I want to see where you
Definitely.
live. I want to see what your life's like, right? I don't go to travel to another fucking country to get everything I get here.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. People need to not take it so seriously. It is all games. Like the Phil Spencer tweet, like I said, there's a lot like everyone in that business makes the same tweets all the time. It is what it is. Like and the same people get mad at him when they see those tweets every single time. It's like you would think by now you get it that they don't care about your war. They don't care about it. But they still do the war. They still do it. But, it is what it is. It's going to be there forever. Forever.
This is where I stand like on that whole war thing because I think some of it is helpful because it's just like, yo, you can legit if you had a right mind, you could be like, man, Sony don't really do first person games that well
Yeah.
right now, right? They don't
Yeah.
do them like they do them fine, but they don't do them like Xbox does, right? You could say the same thing about the third person over the
Yep.
shoulder over the shoulder game or cinematic games. You could say, man, Xbox doesn't quite do that like that. But I could also say the same thing about like eating. Man, America don't do Mexican food, or not America, but like Nebraska don't do that Mexican cuisine like Texas.
Yeah.
California don't got good food. They got some of the best restaurants in the world.
That's a really
Chicago
good
has
point
some of the
too.
best restaurants in the world.
Yep.
Why wouldn't I want both if I can?
You c- yeah, if you can have both, get both, man. That is the way to do it. Definitively. If you can do that, do it. That's the best experience.
So it just kind of is what it is. I thought it was kind of funny because I do see like the awkwardness that is like the elephant in the room. Like, hey, you're the leader of Xbox. You've been talking about working on all these games, and you're playing PlayStation.
Yep.
That is kind of a like kind of a cringe thing to think about. But at the same time, it's just like, man, like I feel like I was gonna say this on a different podcast, but I held my tongue. Um, I felt like there was a little like, and I could be completely like conspiracy theory on this one, right? I feel like there's a little double speak that goes on when these guys say this kind of stuff on a platform where everybody sees this stuff, right? So, in one turn, people are salty and looking at this and saying, how could Xbox's main guy say this? On another turn, you see some of the, just flat out gamers that are just like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it." You turn the wheel one more time and your own developers and stuff are looking at you like, "Man, we need to produce something good." Cuz this fool is still pretty stoked about what's going on over there. What can we do just to keep our own guys over here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not taking it personal like not
Yeah.
taking it personal like, oh man, he shouldn't be doing that. That's messed up. More or less like, man, like you you're excited for God of War. You wait until we bust this motherfucker out. You wait until yeah. You wait until you see what we got cooking. because you don't
Yeah,
even know yet, or yeah, you do know, but you can't speak on it yet, and you can't, clamor about it. So I mean,
yeah,
obviously if Starfield would have been coming out still 11/11/22, he would have said that. But
definitely.
it's not.
Yeah,
But it's not. And we're not going to sit here and act like God of War is, somehow going to get trounced by A Plague's Tale or High on Life
yeah.
or Callisto Protocol or something like
Protocol.
that.
Yeah,
It's not. God of War is that game.
it is.
God of War is, like Elden Ring can hear God of War in the background
Yeah.
making some
El-
noise.
that's the thing. If it weren't for Elden Ring, God of War is the game this year. God of War is the game this year. If it's not for Elden Ring, so it's like it's worth just saying like, yeah, he's excited to play. And like you said, if Starfield was coming out, he'd pick Starfield. Like that's just because the question was what? It was like, what's the next big game you're looking forward to? That was the question. It's like if it was Starfield, he would have said Starfield, but it's not. So it is what it is. He picked Ragnarok. I don't see it as something to panic about. It is perfectly fine that he said that to
I think
me
it's funny.
personally.
I think it's funny. He said, "Suck my dick." He said, "I don't care what you think. These are my thoughts. Sit and
Yeah,
spin."
yeah, and good on him. Honestly, that's what more people need to do that. More people need to do that.
All right. Well, on that note, I don't think I can get as elevated anymore for the rest of the rest of the evening. So I need to relax, go make myself some dinner, and go chill. So I'd like to tell you, Matt, thanks for coming on, even though we were short staffed tonight. Appreciate it.
No problem. No
Matt,
problem at all.
or not Matt, but Mike, get better, brother.
Definitely.
Hopefully, hopefully you can make it with us next week, but don't feel obligated to move, too quickly or do
Yeah,
anything. Just relax and do what you gotta do. Feel better, and we'll see you as soon as you do. And then Twan, whatever the fuck y'all celebrating
Canada's
in
not
fucking
real.
Canada. Yeah. I mean, whatever y'all are fucking doing out there. But anyways, thank you guys. Those of you that are watching that are not part of our that are not here every week actually in our podcast. I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button before you guys take off. Share this out if you can. That would be fantastic. Much appreciated.
Appreciate
Before
it.
we get out of here, I definitely do want to ask you, Matt, what is your underrated and most overrated game? If you
Holy
only have
crap.
one, that's fine. If you don't have
Holy
none,
crap.
pick one.
Holy I completely forgot about that. Okay. Off the top off the top of my head. I
Thought
gotta
he
pick something
escaped.
here. I gotta pick something here. Okay, I'm gonna probably go underrated, and it's a game that I just got, and technically it's not underrated, but a lot of people shit on it, because it's the kind of game that it is, and that's Ori. It can be Will o' the Wisps or it can be Blind Forest, whichever one you want to pick. They are very underrated in terms of the general consensus in the community on those games. Critically, they're pretty well acclaimed, but like people will be like, "Yeah, Ori isn't a real game. Like it's not a real game because it's a side-scrolling platformer. It's a real game, and it's got a fucking incredible story." So yeah, that is my underrated game, or two underrated games, Ori 1 and 2.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go in within that same vein of type of game and say my underrated game would be Unravel 2.
I need to
Fantastic
play
game.
that.
Really good game. I'm down to play it with you, bro. We can play it. We can
Let's
do
do it.
that damn
Let's do
thing.
it.
But it's a really fun game. You can you do everything together, and you guys are pretty much like tied together. So you have to,
Okay.
and you like like use each other to swing. You're made of yarn in that game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So really,
Okay.
really pretty fun game. The story is something else. It's interesting.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely has a kind of a rough tone to it. The story does, but it's
Oh,
interesting.
all right.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. We hope to see you guys next week. Hopefully, we have our full panel back. If not, we'll just keep pushing. We'll do what we got to do.
Absolutely.
Matt, go on ahead and let everybody know where they can find you before we get out of here.
At Matt Likes Games on Twitter, and then Matt Likes Games on YouTube. I have videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which means we got one tomorrow on Wednesday, and then Friday. I got those videos done. I need to edit them, but tomorrow's video is already edited, scheduled. That's ready to go for tomorrow, and you can check me out over there.
Fantastic. All right, and then me, HamSolo05 Gaming is where you can find me on Twitter. And then you can find me at TSWS Gaming. I do, a couple podcasts there a week. I have a bullshit that I do on Friday with Cozy Beluga and Loke. And sometimes we have guests on there as well. And then we also have Behind Them Sticks every Tuesday and Thursday. This Tuesday we have Speed Angel 808 from Talk Story Podcast. Should be pretty dope. He plays a lot of Fortnite with Kai Bergs. If you guys remember that episode that I had on Behind Them Sticks, if you've seen it. If not, go to TSWS Gaming and go check that episode out. And then this Thursday we have Asa from Game On Daily coming on. That should be pretty dope. Pretty interesting. If you know him, he's always with. It's always him and Gaz. They have their own website. They got their own YouTube channel. Really funny guys, really interesting guys. Ace is a really smart dude. Can't wait to hear about how he got big into gaming and how we ended up getting so big into VR. I'm pretty interested to hear about that as well.
Oh
But
yeah.
wonderful people, thank you for coming out. We will see y'all later. Have a wonderful night. Deuces.
See ya.